Hey everyone, welcome back to Wild and Unrooted. We've made it back to the cabin and this trip is all about getting things cleared up and ready for some real progress. First big task, clearing the land. We spent a few days cutting down trees, clearing brush, and carving out a proper turnaround spot. It's going to make hauling in gear and building supplies so much easier. And yeah, lots of brush means big fires. This is a huge step towards building our off-grid home and it's finally starting to feel real.
The house is officially sold. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the off-grid place. Kind of stuff feels like it's got some minutes. I've moved this sea can about 4 times now, but I did screw up this time. Crystal clear water. Good morning. Shelby's making the kids coffee, right? Spent a couple days in the cabin now. We're just making some breakfast. Got some potatoes. We're gonna throw some eggs in there, some spinach, some salsa. I might put mine in a wrap. I don't know. The kids probably just eat it regular. Such a mess in here. We got so much cleaning to do, but we're in the process. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the off-grid place. Here's our little cabin, and then for power, for 110, we have the generator running, and then 12 volts going into all the lights, so that when the generator isn't running, we have power for lights. That's our shower house. It's not done yet, but it's going to be a storage room until we finish moving here, and then we're going to put the hay here. Eventually, we're going to do a hay shed there. And then we're going to clear the last little bit of trees here on this trip so that it's cleared up to that fence line. Hay for the horses. And then this hole right here that I dug a couple years ago is where the actual main cabin's going to be. Then we have our outhouse there. And then this is the garden. Garden needs quite a bit of work, and that's everything.
Let's get the kiddos ready to go help Dad clear some trees outside. Kinda.
Definitely gotta sharpen this chainsaw before I do anything else. I'm gonna run a line, pulling it away. I want to cut it. There's no chance of it hitting our cabin, because that would be a disaster.
Perfect. So we boogied inside to, thank you, make some lunch and get Azalea down for a nap. It is her nap time. First we gotta extend the small kitchen, make it a big kitchen. So I'm gonna cut up some tomatoes, but because I'm in a off-grid cabin, we don't have any running water. So I'm gonna put some tomatoes in a bowl that I'm gonna cut up for our salad. And I'm gonna pour some water, give them a good wash. Oops.
Yeah, you start with small sticks and then you keep gradually adding bigger ones, right? So as the fire gets bigger, you can put bigger wood. That's good. Put the small ones. I'll try to break this off for you. There you go. There's a big one. Yeah.
Taylor, are you mesmerized by the fire?
As you can see, we're about 75% done this little clearing project. We're getting there. Good job, you guys.
Need some help? Are you stuck?
No.
The snow's deep here, eh?
And then it's a ball of snow.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Whoa. So, Dad. Daddy. Here we come.
Here it comes. There it goes.
Good job.
Azalea was playing on the GT and I guess she got tired. I'm gonna get her inside and get her to bed. She obviously needs a nap. All right, so I'm gonna go turn the generator off since we are not using it right now. We got to get this fire going again, and we got to stack the rest of that wood. So Shelby's getting Azalea ready to come outside. Instead of me bucking up all of these trees and hand packing them, I'm going to use the truck. So I'm going to tie a rope to all this, tie it to the truck, and back her up. Just going to use the tension of the rope to basically hold them together, so there's going to be little to no knots. And then this part, that part right there, you just make sure like this part goes around it and it kind of locks it in place. Think it'll work, Andrew? Guess we'll find out, eh? Choke it.
Here.
And then just that through here. And then I'm just going to run a bunch of half hitches so that if it does build a bit of tension. See that, Andrew? Yeah. We'll clean what I cut up and we'll get the fire going. Get rid of all this rope that's kind of tied up in the trees that we used to move. Go from there. Side, okay? Okay. You put it on the bolt, and then you push it down, spin. You gotta spin it so it lines up. There, it's on. It's on. Now spin it that way. This way, that way. There you go. Keep going all the way around. 2 times, okay? 1, 2. Now do the other one. Do this bolt now. Lift it up. Lift it up. There, now put it on that one.
That one goes on.
No, 2 times all the way around. Other way. Lefty loosey. Yeah. 1.
Lefty loosey?
Yeah. 1. 1 more. 2. Good. Now we stop there. And see this?
Yeah.
It's a little too loose. It's the tensioner screw. So you take this side right here, look. Right there. And you put it in. And you spin. Just like that. Now you gotta tighten these back up. So you gotta put this thing back on there. Other way. Other way. There you go. And spin this way. Other way. Good job. All the way, as much as you can. All the way around. Keep going. There. Keep going. Good job. Good job. Now Azalea's gonna try.
Okay.
Okay. Good job, baby girl. And you pull all the way around. Tighten it right up. Just like, good job, Reefa, there you go. Good job, now lift it up. That's it.
That's it.
We did it.
Yay!
Okay, and we gotta fill it full of gas. So this is the gas. So anytime we fill a chainsaw with gas, we gotta make sure that we're nowhere near the fire, right? We gotta be a safe distance from the fire or any flammables, because gas is super flammable, right? So we spin this off, like that.
To get gas in
Yeah.
I want
And
to
then
do this.
Daddy's gonna do this because it's stinky, but you can watch and learn, okay? So that when you get older, you understand quicker. Anytime you put gas in a chainsaw, you have to make sure it's mixed. There's gotta be oil in it. 2-stroke oil though. It's gotta be a special kind of oil.
Yeah.
No, don't touch his area. It's dirty. Yucky. There.
No.
You can help Daddy. That one's oily though. Here, for you, Daddy. So this is bar oil. You know what bar oil is? It lubricates the chain. So we gotta put some bar oil in there. There. Just like that. Put the lid onto this. Can you put that one back too?
Yeah. Need another one.
No, that's it. That's all. Just 2 pipes. All done. Good job. All right, so that pretty much concludes clearing this for today. We've pretty much done as much as we can. It's starting to get a little dark. So we're gonna finish cleaning up the rest of this stuff, roast some marshmallows with the kids, and then we're gonna call her a night, relax, and watch a movie. Figured we might as well tuck the fire in before we call her a night. I'm gonna go grab that last log there and toss her on the fire, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. It's very green wood. Hey boy? Yeah, man. Good boy. How you doing? Enjoying the property, eh? Better than the city life? Hey guys, so we're basically on the last and final problem. So I have a bit of a setup here to get this tree down. As you can see, it's heavily leaning towards the fence line here. I've pulled it probably about almost a foot already. I wasn't quite strong enough to do it by hand like I did with a few of the other trees, so I had to use a little come along. I essentially wrapped it around a couple of stumps, used the come along and that other stump down there for leverage, and reefing the tree away from the fence line, and then I'll chop it down with the chainsaw and it should land towards the fire. So of course, if readily available, I always recommend properly training when using a chainsaw. If you don't have time and that's not accessible and you're in a survival situation, make sure if you do drop a tree that you do have an escape plan before even attempting to drop the tree. So what I've done right now is I've cleaned the branches all around the tree. I've walked a path in the event of an emergency that I could quickly run and move out of the line of fire if anything bad were to happen, so that I'm completely out of the way of the tree. And I have multiple avenues to take in the event of an emergency, but it should go pretty smooth. Hey guys, a quick update. We just got back from Whitehorse, heading back to our off-grid property, and we finally got the news that the house is officially sold 100%. All the terms have been met, and yeah, the house is definitely gone now. So we have quite a bit more moving to do. We're currently at a water station, and I'm just to fill up some water for our off-grid property. We don't have running water. We do have the river, but that's going to be mainly for the shower house. Potentially a bit of cooking. I would like to get a small filtration system just because there sometimes is a bit of sediment in there.
Let's go! The great thing about this place is it's free and it's clean drinking water, which is amazing. Nothing better than a sink bath to end a hectic day. With the house officially sold, it's now go time. Today, we're unloading the horse trailer and moving everything into the shower house. A few more trips and we're 100% off-grid living in the Yukon territories. On tonight's dinner menu, we have Thai chicken lettuce wraps. And nothing better than a fresh brewed coffee to go along with dinner.
Doesn't it please you, my lady? That's a noodle. A noodle from the finest flowers of... What's noodles are made of? Flour?
Flour. Egg.
Noodles from the fine flour. I don't know where I'm going with this. Noodles that are really, really good for you. Tickle, tickle. Alright, so pretty much all done here. Got the trees all cleared off. There's a little bit more to do. I'm just gonna finish putting this fire out here before I leave. And as I was about to hook onto my trailer, I noticed a flat tire. So I'm in the process of changing a flat tire. Not really too sure what happened. I know I had a decent sized load on, but I didn't think it was that bad. So show you guys here. Use a little trick there. Instead of using a jack, I just drove up on a couple of pieces of wood and a block. That'll lift the tire up. Got the new tire on. Here's the old tire. Definitely blew pretty bad. Tire is pretty weathered.
He was only an ordinary man, but he did an extra. Only an ordinary man, but he did an extra. And but he did an extra. And but he did it. And but he did it. And but he did it. He was only an ordinary man, but he did an extra. Only an ordinary man, but he did an extra. And but he did an extra. And but he did an extra. And but he
We got this whole place to ourselves, which is pretty cool. Unexpected. But very nice. Crystal clear water.
Yuck.
You want that off now? Okay. You want your life jacket off now? Since we're getting out? Cheese. Did you fall over? Good job.
I'm working in the hospital.
Good morning. Today we have something special going on. We have a crane coming. So basically what's going to happen is the crane's going to show up, lift our 20-foot sea can onto our trailer, and then he's going to have to spin it around first so we can access it once we get to our off-grid property, and then hopefully he's going to be able to lift up our little tidy tank as well and put it up front. Alright, gonna throw another strap on her. So I believe the highway regulation is to have a minimum of 3 on an 8-foot sea can, but I'm gonna do 4 just to be safe. Make sure when you guys are strapping a large load that your straps are rated for your particular load. I believe the highway regulation requires you to have three straps on a sea can. Just to be safe, I'm gonna do 4 because we do have a long drive ahead of us. Easiest way I find is to actually unhook the strap, or move the strap out of the actual ratchet itself, and then roll it up into a nice circle. And then once you got it rolled up, pick the spot that you want it to be, and then give her a toss. Fortunately, I threw the wrong side. Typically, you want your straps on the other side, so I'm going to redo this. And to actually ratchet it itself, you just guide it through, and then back in, and then back out through the ratchet. Give her a little pull. Make sure everything's nice and square. Oh yeah. There we go. I don't have any equipment to unload the sea can. So what I'm gonna try to do is basically, I'm gonna hook it to a tree, then I'll back it up into the correct spot and pull the sea can slowly off with my truck till it's at its tipping point, and then winch it off with the side-by-side the last couple feet, and then hopefully just drive away and it should go in place. So I got a chain hooked up to that tree, chain tied to this, got a safety strap to stop it from going too far, and we'll see how it goes. We're making progress. It is working. So now that we're pretty close to the end of the road here, I'm going to tie up a safety strap so it doesn't go any further than it's supposed to. And then we'll give it one last try. Pull the chains off, back it up in the correct spot, and then we're good.
might look a little sketchy, but I have done this before. I've moved the sea can about 4 times now, and I pretty much loaded it every single time this way. But I did screw up this time. I didn't lower this jack enough, and the sea can caught it when I went to pull out, and now it bent it. So now I need a new one of those. A little jack is a lot cheaper than renting like a crane or a bunch of equipment, so all is good. The sea can is empty for the record. We did it.
The kids and Brendan are gonna go for a side-by-side. I'm gonna take some horsepower.
So we almost got her squared up to the cabin there. The hose started to overheat. Perfect.
See you on the next one. Like and subscribe.